Microsoft has purchased Activision Blizzard King, and this is a pretty big deal. Everybody's kind of talking about it. Thought I'd give my 2 cents on it too. So here's an article from MSN.com in front of us right now, and let's start talking about it. I don't know why we need to wait and everything, and I just realized I don't have it on the screen, so let me quickly bring it back up, and here it is. The Activision Blizzard now officially belongs to Microsoft, and this is the biggest acquisition in gaming history and one of the largest in the tech industry is in the books. 20 months after the deal was announced, Microsoft has bought Activision Blizz for 68.7 billion. It's been a long road filled with a plenty of twists and turns to get to this point. Now, it goes into detail as to, what Microsoft and uh, Blizzard had to go through, because of like lots of different laws and rules and regulations. I believe especially the UK was, a little bit against it because if I'm not mistaken, and somebody can correct me, I'm not fully versed on this. My friends are though, but they decided not to be a part of this video, so here I am, and you get me. So feel free to educate me in the comments. But if I'm not mistaken, the UK was against it because they were worried that the idea of monopolizing gaming could be bad. If I'm not mistaken, but yeah. So, anyways, moving on, it says over here in an attempt to win over the UK regulator, Microsoft agreed to sell the cloud gaming rights for ActiBliz to Ubisoft. That means not only should ActiBliz games be on Game Pass, but they'll land on Ubisoft Plus, any other game streaming service Ubisoft decides to work with, which is pretty cool. So that means games like Overwatch, Diablo, Call of Duty, all these games can come to Game Pass. And honestly, I've been holding off from buying any of the new CODs or or even Diablo and maybe Warcraft. Like the prices that they ask for can be very very expensive, and I've always wanted to try Diablo 4 and Warcraft and some of the newer or even older CODs. So I would really really love to see them in Game Pass. Honestly, Game Pass is a huge steal. If you guys don't know what Game Pass is, it is a subscription based service for games. So it's kind of like you pay a set price every month and you get to rent a plethora of games. Practically, they're yours to begin with, and if you like it, you can buy it from that store or you could buy it from the official store. I used it to mostly play single player games because they're mostly one and done. So, but let's say you might become a fan of one of those games and you want to support the game directly, then you can buy them separately. But Game Pass offers so much that honestly, it's a great way to save on money if you're a gamer, right? So for me, it's a thumbs up. More stuff on Game Pass is always nice. I use it for games like Exoprimal, Grounded, Sea of Thieves, etc., etc. Um, granted that I first tried Sea of Thieves on Game Pass, and then I was convinced that it's a pretty good, fun game, and I bought it officially. So Game Pass is pretty good for that type of stuff too because their prices are fairly affordable, depending on where you are, right? Moving on, Microsoft also signed 10-year agreements with Nintendo and several cloud gaming companies to offer its titles on their platforms as well. These moves led to the European Union giving the merger the green light. The bloc's competition officials reported they didn't see anything in the amended merger agreement with the Ubisoft plan factored in that would prompt a fresh antitrust investigation. The Federal Trade Commission's attempt to stop the deal over competition concerns haven't panned out. The agency sued to block it in December, and an evidentiary hearing in the case was slated to take place on August 2nd. The FTC tried to temporarily block the merger with the preliminary injunction ahead of its administrative trial, but a judge denied that effort. The FTC still does plan to challenge the merger. If that effort is successful, Microsoft could be forced to divest some or all of Activision Blizzard. But for now, the deal is done. It means, amongst other things, the Activision Blizzard titles will be available on cloud gaming platforms for the first time since the publisher pulled its titles from GeForce Now in early 2020. Its games will surely join Game Pass in the near future, including Xbox Cloud Gaming, and they'll pop up on Ubisoft Plus and other platforms Ubisoft works with. So, we know what this means. Now, the biggest takeaway is that lots of the Blizzard games will be coming over to Game Pass, and this can and not just that, they actually are getting Bobby Kotick to step down. Now he's going to get a big payday and everything, but I hope that for the future of all of the franchises in Blizzard, which is Diablo, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Hearthstone, whatever that Microsoft can get their hands on and they're interested in, that they're generally able to improve the states of all of those games and give them money. Now, in one way, that is a potential that could happen. In another way, something else could happen where Microsoft just doesn't care. It just wants to put their games on Game Pass, prioritize their own revenue, and just kind of let the Blizzard games do their own thing with the teams that are already assigned to them. That's a little bit negative thinking. So I kind of want to steer away from that and just hope that you know it does not go down that route. I would personally really like to see some more love being given, because as we know, the reason why the Overwatch 2 PvE didn't happen was simply because Blizzard didn't have faith in it. Developers were all over the place about it, and it was just a vision that they couldn't deliver on, no matter how hard they tried. So now I hope, with hopefully some new leadership coming in, hopefully maybe some more investment going into all these teams, they're able to expand their teams, expand the impact that they have on the games, and just double down on what they're able to do. So that's my hope. We also know over here that Blizzard has been pushing for mobile gaming with Diablo Immortal. There's also Call of Duty Mobile and Warzone Mobile coming on the way. And for the future of the platforms, Phil Spencer, the CEO of Microsoft Gaming, has promised to do whatever it takes to keep shipping COD to PlayStation. After months of refusing to do so, Sony eventually signed a 10-year pact just before the initial merger deadline of July 18th to keep that particular franchise on PlayStation, conceding defeat in its efforts to halt the acquisition. However, Microsoft will likely opt to keep other active Blizzard games off of PlayStation platforms, as it has done with ZeniMax and Bethesda titles like Redfall and Starfield, as well as Machine Games' upcoming Indiana Jones project. Meanwhile, many observers hope that Microsoft will help stamp out the alleged toxic workplace culture at ActiBliz. Early this year, ActiBliz Blizzard 35 million to settle SEC charges related to how it handled employees' workplace misconduct complaints. And that's basically it. So we all know everybody's perspective in this. We as gamers are hoping for love and care being provided to the Blizzard titles and games being treated well. We're also hoping for the people that are working there to hopefully get a better work environment and be able to flesh out games that we expect from Blizzard quality. Although I don't think we will notice these changes very early. I think we will notice these things perhaps maybe 1 year from now, 2 years from now, because these things, they take time. It's not like very easy to okay, well, Microsoft bought Blizzard, that means the next Overwatch update is going to be a pretty big deal. It takes some time. It takes a few months, 6 months to 8 9 months, get a new team going, get people coming in, helping each other out. Anybody that's worked in a business will know what I'm talking about. So we're all just kind of hoping that this means good for the entire Blizzard franchise as a whole. And let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think this is a good thing? Do you think it's a bad thing? I always understand oh my god, what is the word? Monopolization, like the idea that basically Blizzard will have very little to next to no competition, so it'll become like a monopoly in the situation, right? And because of that, they can control high prices and all that type of stuff. Excuse me for that. Um, so I see both sides and arguments, but I want to have good faith that you know that they will remain fair. Well, let's hope they remain fair, because Microsoft does have a good streak on its back. They've had some ups and downs here and there, but hopefully, they keep things in line. Now, with that being said, if you guys want to support the channel, if you want to support, me for free without any investment whatsoever, then all you have to do is hit like and subscribe. It's a great way to support the channel. Helps out with the algorithm. But if you want to support me financially, at the moment, I have the super chats. So if you want to just kind of, throw in a buck or two so I can buy some coffee, feel free. I really appreciate it. With that being said, I'll see you in the next video.